This is Michael McKeon, a.k.a. Morris Fletcher, a.k.a. Chuck McGill. You know who I am. But it's time for Inside the Gilliverse with Eric Broadbent.
You're watching Inside the Gilliverse, talking all things Breaking Bad, El Camino, and Better Call Saul. Brought to you by the Royal Baubles Collection at bobbleheads.com. For all your favorite characters from the Gilliverse, shop the Royal Baubles Collection at bobbleheads.com. Also brought to you by Rode Microphones, the official microphone supplier of Inside the Gilliverse. See their entire lineup today at rode.com. Now please welcome your host, Eric Broadbent.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Season 2, Episode 7 of Inside the Gilliverse, where we talk all things Breaking Bad, El Camino, and Better Call Saul. My name is Eric Broadbent, and it comes with great pleasure to welcome tonight's guests, and I say that with a plural. It's usually guest. We have Mark and Ed from the Breaking Bad Store ABQ here. Gentlemen, how are you? We've got a lot of your friends and family and all kinds of people like that in the chat. They speak so highly of you. So I'm learning a lot about both of you and your establishment through them. So very, very cool. Nice to have you. And what a way to kick off a weekend, right? And we were sharing off the air. You guys are sharing some of the Canadian weather down your way, aren't you? Okay. Yeah. I almost think that he would come, to look at the Bagman episodes and stuff like that, right? I wonder if he would maybe prefer the cold. Oh, hang on. We got no sound here. I'm saying we got no sound. Uh-oh. Why not? Okay, 1 second. I think I can fix that. I don't know why. Okay, what's going on here? Let's fix that. Hang tight. Yeah. Okay, can you guys still hear us? Can you hear me?
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yep.
Chat.
Okay. How about now?
You don't want to hear us. You don't want to know what we say, Uncle Davey.
Make sure.
The master said she can't hear us.
We'll
so
see.
you can hear Eric, right?
Yeah, I think I know what it was. I made a change on the mixer today for talking to my boy on Discord, and we're going to see what they say here. Eamon and Karina are both letting me know. Make sure that... Okay, good. We got you. We're good. Rock and roll. Okay, so we're going to back up.
Yeah, you all missed a great porn story. And, we'll just, that'll be on the mixtape. So.
Just waiting to hear from... I'm just waiting to hear from Eamon as well. Karina gave me, yep, we're in. Okay, rock and roll. So we started off, sorry folks. I made a change on the mixer today. Junior and I were talking on Discord, and I'm not a Discord guru, and something was happening when I muted him, so he had me change some things, and then I don't think it works for the actual broadcast, so my fault. So we're talking about Canadian weather, and you guys were starting to say that you have some of it there. Let's repeat that again for our viewers that can hear you now.
Well, I was saying that, if it gets below 70 degrees here in New Mexico, people are dressing in parkas and snowshoes and destroying the traffic. It's horrible when it gets snowy here.
It's pandemonium. It's like the Walking Dead over here. It's crazy.
I'm a Pacific Northwest boy, so I love the snow, and I live for the snow.
And
yeah.
I dress in tumbleweeds, so this is not working for me.
He's a desert-born boy, born and bred.
Yes, I don't do cold weather, and this is what's so weird about Mark and me, because Mark loves, he wants Cancun weather.
I don't want Cancun weather.
I know. I'm just.
Yeah.
And I want
But wait. That also. I'm Cancun. Well, I know, but I was also going to say, but that's also because I'm a Better Call Saul fan, and you're a Breaking Bad fan.
That's right.
Okay.
So And we're both El Camino fans, so we
we meet in the middle.
Yeah,
share the love for El Camino. That's where you guys meet. Otherwise, it's the opposites.
Oh yeah,
that's cool. I can dig that. Well, we've got a great bunch of people here in the audience here tonight, and our live viewers. We thank you so much for spending your Friday evening with us. And it's pretty cold for everybody, just about everywhere. So we're going to all huddle together tonight and stay warm. I've got a couple questions for you right off the hop here from myself, and then we're going to jump over to some audio questions. Karina and the team are going to funnel us some questions as well too, and we'll carry on through the night with more. So the first question I had for you for the evening is maybe to talk and tell us about the origin of the store. How did it come about?
Well, we 2 years ago,
in
2018, when we put on the 10th anniversary event at Twister's for the 10th anniversary of Breaking Bad, and while we were there, we were like, "Oh my gosh, there's this love for Breaking Bad out there. We should do a museum." Was our first thought, and then so we did a travel out to Atlanta, where we visited the Walking Dead city in Sonoma. And we got to see, what they do out there for Walking Dead, and we're like, oh my gosh, Albuquerque could use a Breaking Bad store.
No, actually, what we said is, why hasn't nobody done a Breaking Bad store in Albuquerque? Right, all the years. Now, Mark and I have always talked about doing a museum type, never a store, but it was always going to be a museum all these years. So when we got back from Sonoma, the person that really should be, thanked is his name is Frank Sandoval, who does the RV tours here in Albuquerque.
Right.
He had a store. It was encompassing everything that was filmed in Albuquerque for film and television, but he wanted to get out of it. And so in October of 2019, he came to us and said, "Would you like to do a store?" So,
and that's how it came. And if it hadn't been for that one opportunity, that one little opportunity, we probably we never shot the bullet.
Wow.
I still be at Blue Cross.
He's reached out to me. Yeah, he's reached out to me as well too, Frank, and we're going to get him on the show as well too and promote the tour and what they do. I think that's a pretty cool, a really, really cool thing they've got going on there for people that want to live the moment and not have to drive around aimlessly and, just take all the pressure off, hop on the bus, the RV, and just see everything. It's amazing, but that's good. The opportunity presented itself, and look what we have now, right? And it's more than just a store. Maybe we can expand on that just for a second too. So people might think it's just a store. You go in and you buy your wares, all your Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad and all that good stuff. But tell us where the store ends and what carries on after that.
Well, the fact that Ed and I are both big fans of the show, we wanted to make the store, not just, like you said, not just for merchandise, but also for the fans. So when you get in there, you do merchandise and shop and everything, but then we also have a lot of art from the show, from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Then we also have like photo ops, or interactive photo ops, where people can go in there and become part of the show that they love so much. And,
that was always the thing. See, Mark is a big Star Trek fan, and I'm a big Beatles fan. This is way before Breaking Bad. And our thing is if we could, and this has always been throughout Breaking Bad for us with our fan groups and everything. If Mark can go to a Star Trek place and he can actually be in Star Trek, or if I can go to Liverpool and I could maybe be a Beatle or something.
Yeah,
that's what we want. So that's how we think of it with the store. Yeah. We want you, the fan, to feel like you are in Breaking Bad.
Cool.
And that's what we did. So.
And it means just to see a fan come in from all over the world. We have fans from all over the world who come, who make it a stop when they come because they want to interact with that stuff. And they come in and they see it, and then they're just blown away at the fact that they can actually stand behind the Los Pollos counter and be a Los Pollos employee in a picture, or sit behind Saul's desk.
Or be on Saul's bench.
Yeah.
I mean,
just to see their faces light up is what it's really about.
Yeah.
And so if we can make one fan's day, then our day is made.
I can imagine. Where do you think? I mean, you might know, or maybe you might just have to guess. Where do you think, or where's the furthest traveled fan come from? Do you know offhand?
Well, Russia. Yeah, we had this one. Were you here that day? I don't know if Mark was. I think he was. It was either him or other employee at the time. This gentleman came in, and he said hello, and he didn't say anything. He walked throughout the store. He walked a full circle, and then when he was about to leave, I thought, oh, okay, he's gone. He stopped and he goes, I just want to say that everybody loves Breaking Bad in Russia, and I want to give you this. And he gave us a ruble or a coin, right? It was a Russian coin. And he goes, I'm not buying anything. I just want to give you this and say thank you. And so we had that coin at the store, and it's sort of our lucky coin, right?
Nice.
But
was that when we were in the smaller store? Or
no, it was the store. Okay. So, we get these, everybody. I mean, I've had people cry when they come into the store. I've had people scream when they've come into the store. I've had people tell me their stories about cancer because the show reflects it, how they went through. I've had this, I think he was 20 years old, maybe. Yeah. His friend was telling me his story because I don't think he wanted to do it, but he finally got comfortable enough where he took off his hat and he was bald. He's like, I'm going through everything. I didn't want to watch Breaking Bad. And when she told me to watch it, I watched it. Just because I was skeptical. I didn't know if they were going to do it correct. And he goes, they did everything correct with what I'm going through. And it just means a lot. So I've had people tell me that, the drug issue of how they beat, whatever they were going through. It just encompasses everything with the store.
That's nice. It kind of people can relate to where they were or what they're going through. It's just like music. Like I'm a big music guy and I do a lot of music shows, and people talk about, so and so's music reminds me when I was 18, or I was so and so when I kissed my first date, and just you remember all those things. And I see that exactly with the store as well too, just putting you in the moment. And that's so totally awesome for sure. I'm going to jump over to 2 audio questions here from our mods here and our friends as well too. This first one's from Karina, Karina, and the second one is from Lori, and then we're going to jump back to some of our chat questions here as well. Now, one of them I believe does have something to do with Star Trek, so that's going to be pretty cool, and I believe that is Lori's. But here's an audio here's the audio question from Karina. Karina and Eamon are our 2 moderator heads, and they help the rest of our team as well too. Renata and Jennifer as well, and we're going to jump over to that one now. Let me know if you can hear this from Karina.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Ed. This is Karina. I'm so envious of all the fun events you've had in ABQ to celebrate the shows. Are you already planning a really cool event, or do you have something in mind for the series finale of Better Call Saul? That would be assuming that the pandemic cooperates, of course, and you can have an event.
Nice.
Well, in 2016, we held something called the Breaking Saul Bash. Mm-hmm. And we invited 150 guests to a hotel here in Albuquerque, and we put on a rather large event. Yep. And then, of course, the pandemic hit this year because we do have something planned for the series finale. Right. But of course, everything, the pandemic, the plague happened and pushed everything back. But to answer Korea's question, yes. So if anybody was there for the Breaking Saul Bash in 2016, all we can say is think bigger.
Okay.
Yeah. Before the store happened, as to give background, we have a fan group on Facebook. It's called the Better Call Saul 3 Strikes group, and Mark and I like to give back. So every summer we have a summer party. So
since 2013.
Since 2013. So if you're local in Albuquerque, if you want to come in, we've had people as far away as from London come into our party. We'll spoil you. So we'll feed you, we'll give you drinks, entertain you. We'll give tons of prizes. And so, like Mark said, our first big one was in 2016. And then we sort of every summer from there. Our last one was in 2019.
The summer of 2019.
We had Patrick Fabian came to the party.
I saw that, yeah.
Remember Sui,
Julian
Bafiglio. So, and Mark and I, we always talk about how we're going to end this. So it's the final season of Saul. So we're going to go even bigger.
Yeah.
You know what? I did not to interrupt you, but next week Vince Gilligan's coming on the show, and I'm going to bring this up to Vince Gilligan, and I'm not sure if you heard this on a couple shows back, and I really apologize who kind of toyed the idea, and I did take the ball and run with it, and I'll hopefully give credit where credit is due when I figure out who first planted the seed. The Breaking Bad Better Call Saul cruise on the ocean, get past the pandemic, of course. We got to make sure COVID is not even a bad word anymore. Once that's gone, Breaking Bad Better Call Saul cruise, bring you guys out there as well too on the cruise. You can sell your wares, you can be MCs and stuff like that. Wouldn't that be cool?
I would love it.
It would be so amazing, even just to be people on the cruise.
I know. I really think it's something else, and my mind, just like a creative mind of mine, I just, oh my God, we got to do this. So I'm going to bring it right to the captain of the ship himself, Vince, next Friday night, and say, Vince, what do you think about a cruise? And I could just So we'll see what happens, right?
And we can all go to Belize.
Yeah, that's right. We'll sail to Belize. We will literally sail to Belize, and we get to come back. A lot of
we could have like a murder mystery dinner, and somebody doesn't come back from Belize.
Who is it? Yeah.
My God, we're just like, that'd be a good idea.
There's a lot.
That would be. I would do that. I mean, I've always wanted, and I know this is kind of off topic and not part of the Gilliverse, but I've always wanted to. They have a Star Trek cruise, and I would go on that in a heartbeat if there wasn't a plague going on. But
that'd be cool. That'd be good. Here is an audio question now, and I think this has a Star Trek flavor here. This is from Lori.
Hello there, Ed and Mark. This is Lori. First of all, congratulations on your 1-year anniversary of the store in January. My question is for Mark. I know that you're a huge Star Trek fan and you have a lot of collectibles and memorabilia. If you can only keep one item out of that collection, what would it be and how did you acquire it? While you're thinking of your answer, I'd just like to say that not only are Ed and Mark owners of the Breaking Bad Store ABQ, they also do a lot for their community. They help raise money for Feeding Pets of the Homeless and the Cardboard Playhouse Theater Company, just to name a few. They're incredibly generous. They've spent an enormous amount of their own money for parties, soirees, and contests for members of the Better Call Saul 3 Strikes group. Thank you so much for all that you do. I can't wait to finally meet you in person and see the store when it's safe to travel. Please don't call the police on me for loitering. Thank you so much.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I almost forgot the question now. Do you remember the question?
I do. And she made me kind of tear up there a little bit.
I know, thank you. We love Lori.
She's great.
And I've thought about it a lot. My collection is kind of, I've got a lot of stuff over the years and everything. But there's one thing that I've got that if I had to get rid of the entire collection, there's one thing that I would keep, and that is a custom Funko Pop of Dr. Beverly Crusher. So if you know Star Trek, you know who Dr. Crusher is. We went to Vegas 5 years ago with some friends of ours from Denmark, and Gates McFadden was there, and she was auctioning off this custom-made Funko Pop that somebody made for her charity, which is a dance theater group in Los Angeles. And our friends from Denmark bid on it and gave it to me. So that was the one thing that I had to save. That would be the thing I would save. But then there's also this wonderful picture of me with Nichelle Nichols, which would be my next prize possession.
Okay, nice.
I know it's off topic, but
no, that's all good. That's all good. And very good question from Lori. We call Lori the female version of Mike Ehrmantraut, the private eye. She comes up, she stumped some of our guests. She stumped Michael Slovis. Well, not stumped him, but caught him off guard. She catches a lot of our guests off guard. So I really like it when she kind of sneaks in and comes up with these killer questions. So that's it for the audio question portion of the evening. We usually have quite a few. We just didn't get them all in time tonight, and it's I've been running 7 different directions today, so I didn't get a chance to. I didn't get any more anyway, so we didn't get a need for them. But here's some text questions. Yeah, here's some text questions coming in. Thank you, Karina, for sending them to me. If I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this name right, but from Zoko Santos. Says, do artists sell artwork in your store? If so, would anyone be interested in propaganda painting of characters in the Breaking Bad universe? Do you have any custom art that's submitted?
Oh, we do.
Yes,
we do. We have a local artist. We carry local artists here in Albuquerque. That's one of the things that is great, is that we have the local artists who do have their art in our store. But I'm not sure what when they say propaganda.
I'm not sure what they mean, but maybe just maybe some kind of interesting art. But let's just say, how would a person contact you if they wanted to maybe send some artwork?
Of course, they can always just come into the store.
Okay.
If they're local, they can come into the store and show us what they do have. But if they want, they can also email us at the Breaking Bad Store ABQ @gmail.com.
Okay.
And they reach out to us, then we can start the communications and the dialogue between the two.
What we look for with with the artists, I mean, granted, our store is what 85% authorized stuff from Sony, what have you, and the rest is local artists. Now, what we look for is unique. So it's like if you put a great spin on something that's never been like, ooh, I love that. I look at it this way: we have a Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul room. If I want to put it in my room, then I know I want to sell it. That's how I look at it.
I don't know if you can see behind us. This is just one wall.
Yeah.
Of the room.
That's good. That's great. Yeah, awesome. Well, that's good. So
I'm sorry.
No, it's because that's great. They could just reach out to you by email or come and see you in the store and potentially have some merchandise to sell there with you. Like, now, would it be on consignment or something like that?
Yeah, we handle all local artists as consignment because we don't know what will sell and what won't sell.
Of course.
And then the financial, lack of a better term, the financial risks to either party is very low if it's a consignment kind of situation. Plus, we do everything to benefit the artist and not the store. So most consignment people are like 50-50 or 60-40, which is ridiculous. We do 30-70, and we take care of the state taxes for the artist. They don't even have to worry about that.
Wow. Very fair.
That's we want to help out the local artists just as much as we do want to help out the big corporations who sell the regular stuff.
Like, again, it's like, especially during this time, one of the best things that happened during this year is like, with the fans, they do come to the store, even though, it's been a bumpy ride, and it's helped out the local artists to the point where, they might, because they don't have shows. Usually they have like their craft fairs or, whatever they do during the summer. They didn't have that this last year. So
money's tight.
Us selling their stuff, it helps them. So
yeah, that's good. Good on you guys for doing it. That's good. And it promotes the local economy as well too, and it's keeping everything in ABQ, which is nice. Here's another question. This is from Eamon, our one of our moderator heads. This is from his better half, Louise. Says, have you ever sold a one-off Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul item that you wish you kept? Like in the music world here, I've sold off guitars that I'm like, oh my God, like I had something back in the 80s and it's gone and you kick yourself. How about you guys with some really cool things that you wish you would have kept?
Actually, I was going to say, we've never sold any one-offs.
No.
Okay.
But, our groups, we've had 2 Facebook groups, right? Yeah. And what we like to do is we don't do it anymore, unfortunately, but we used to do a lot of contests, and from the contests we used to get a lot of stuff from the show, right? So we know a lot of people from the crew and everything. They were very happy to donate stuff, and we would just give it. We would have contests.
I know which one you're thinking of.
Now, what am I thinking of?
The locations manager. He did am I right?
Yeah,
I know. He did a scavenger hunt of the location signs around the city.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I mean, of course, we're super fans, but I have a very flexible job where as soon as he posted the picture of where it was, I could just get in my car and leave. I wouldn't, so I was able to get quite a few of the signs. Well, the last sign that he did was a filming location sign of the last day of principal filming, which was where they filmed out in the desert.
Okay.
For
the very final.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. So a lot of people. So he put that as the big thing. This is what everybody wants.
Yeah, everybody that was on the set that day, they signed that location sign.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Vince, Marian, RJ, everybody.
Now we had that. Yeah, I didn't give that up. That's on the ceiling.
It's up on the ceiling right above us here. But so he posted the clue for the filming location. It was where Huell's safe house was, and unfortunately, just a couple of weeks before that, he had actually put where Huell's safe house was. And
okay.
Found out where it was. So of course, him and a friend who was visiting from Chicago flew over there. Indiana, sorry. And they got there, and of course, he's like, I knew it was going to be you guys. And he gave us the sign, and he gave us Huell's cell phone.
Huell's cell phone.
Oh, cool.
That's a free-use prop of the cell phone. And Ed, being the guy he is, nothing is for us, it's for the fans. He gave it to our fan who was a fan from Indiana.
Yeah.
So,
and inside the phone, it had like these fake numbers. So it had Jesse, the phone number, Walt number, it had Saul a number. And it was just this cool prop. And I was just like, and it was like this old looking cell phone. And it was in this plastic bag. And I'm just like, here, Tom, it's yours. And I tell Mark, and I was like, damn it, why didn't I keep that phone?
You know what that reminds me of? What it truly reminds me of is when you're at a baseball game and you or I, any of us are out there, and someone hits a fly ball, we catch it and we turn around and we give it to the little kid beside us, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We do not regret giving it to Tom.
No.
We do not regret giving it to him.
Because we know he cherishes it. So that's the thing. So
that's cool.
That's what we like to do. When we give stuff out to the fans and everything, we know that they're going to cherish it because it's like they're big fans, right? I mean, one of the stories when Breaking Bad was done and finished, the locations manager actually invited Mark into ABQ Studios and
to the closet.
Okay.
So he went to his office. His office was getting cleaned out, and what did he tell you?
He said, "Well, what? I mean, just go in there." And
he goes, "I have stuff in the closet. Let's just go through it.
Here, have this." And then we turned around and did contest on the group to give it away to the fans. You know, us living here in Albuquerque, we have a bigger. We have the opportunity to meet the people, and watch them film. And, you know, that luxury where people from around the country and world don't have that luxury. Yeah. So if we can spread that joy to the fans, that's what we try.
I mean, some of these were canister cans of Breaking Bad where they put the film in because they were the last show to use film, right? And so it's like, just here you go. Yeah, here you go. So as long as you join the contest, I don't care. We'll give it to you. We'll pay shipping.
That's great. That's totally incredible, and the fans really get to benefit from this as well. Here is a question, and here we go. This is some cool possessions. We kind of talked base about Star Trek possessions and things like that. From Bradford Shelley, what's your guys' most prized Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul possession?
Hi, Brad. I love Brad, and he came to the store last year. So hello. What is our prized possession?
Well, the Breaking Bad autograph sign.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see it in the picture or anything, but it's the original when they first filmed in season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Season 1 and 2, the location sign.
Yeah.
Now these are big yellow signs that gives you directions on where the base camps and stuff are. This is one of the original VRBA signs that they used for first and second season, and it has all the principal cast autograph on it.
And just others as well.
And others, some of the crew members as well.
Sure.
And we held on to it for the longest time, and then we finally got to meet Vince Gilligan when they filmed season 1, episode 1 of Better Call Saul, 1 block from our house.
Oh, nice.
And we were actually able to go over there and meet Vince Gilligan, and he finally got to, it was like the white whale.
Yeah.
We got the autograph on the sign.
So, and then we framed it. And then we have like the pictures of them with the sign around the sign. So
to kind of paint a picture. Yeah.
And that's our and we took a picture of everybody holding the sign, so that's our certificate of authenticity.
There you go. Yeah, that's perfect. Couldn't get any better than that.
If the house burned down, I would grab that more than anything.
Yeah, first thing
I would be marking the house. I'd be like, just get me the sign.
How about for Better Call Saul? How about for Better Call Saul?
For Better Call Saul, we actually we did a sign now for Better Call Saul. So it's an HHM sign. It's a location sign, and of course it has again everybody's signature. This time they kind of did it differerly. So they, instead of just the signature like it does in the Breaking Bad, for some reason everybody puts like a little
they wrote some nice comments.
Like nice comments.
Okay.
Like Ernesto. John Christian Love, right? He's like my favorite coworkers or something in the mailroom, right? So what's it, the guy in the wheelchair, the young kid, I forgot his name, the UNM student.
Oh, I forget.
Josh Faden.
Josh Faden. So he wrote this like it was like a novel, and I'm like, what are you writing?
Okay. But again, it goes back to the luxury of being able to meet these people here in the city, and where it's filmed. And
awesome.
That is one of the biggest questions we get at the store.
Okay.
And that is, was Breaking Bad filmed here in Albuquerque? Yeah. We get that a lot.
Really?
So, yeah. So
that's cool. That's good. Here's a question from Lisa Masters. If you could have any piece of memorabilia from Breaking Bad, Saul, or El Camino, what would it be? And before you answer, I've had a couple different guests share their things. Like I had Charlie Baker on the show before it became Inside the Gilliverse, way back on Rock Shop Live, which was a precursor to Inside the Gilliverse. And he said he really wanted Skinny Pete's hat. Right, his toque, and he did end up getting a replica because I think it went off to the Smithsonian or something like that. And I know Bryan Cranston wants his shades and his fedora, and I think he actually got it. But if you could have a piece of something, I mean, other than maybe Jimmy's esteem, what would you like to have from the show? And that's the question from Lisa Masters.
You get to pick Breaking Bad. I get to pick Better Call Saul.
Okay.
For me, it would be one of the hazmat suits.
Nice.
That was spoon worn. That would be me, along with the mask. So that's for me, hands down.
Really?
Yeah.
This is going to sound like the funniest thing ever, but the one thing I want from Better Call Saul is the talking toilet.
Oh yeah, put it in me, Tommy. You know.
I was at the store watching that episode. I told myself, I was like, that is the one prop from the show I would want.
I know. Remember the dropping the balls in, and it's like, you're too big for me. It was hilarious.
I mean, we could actually, I wish we could do that. If that was a working toilet and in our bathroom for the guests, wouldn't that be great? It's like, can I use the restroom? Sure, it's over there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And Jimmy says, it's a little bit perverted. Perverted, how dare you? And he kicks him off the property. That was the best.
The response was, this is for children.
You know, a lot of people wouldn't think that, and that's one of the rarest. I mean, not the rarest, but it's one of the things that that's a deep cut on a Led Zeppelin album. Is that right? You know what I mean? It's that cool. Yeah. You know, that's very, very cool.
And the true fans of the shows are going to know it.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like that's one of those. Why do you have a toilet here? It's like, well, then you really haven't watched the show.
Now, of course, you know, if they weren't really big fans and they go to a toilet in the restroom with our store, we might get sued. So it might not be a good.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Like, it'd be like if they actually thought it was a public place to go, and you see them starting to pull down the belt, whatever. It's like, no, it's a prop. It's a prop. You know?
Yeah, I'm thinking that might not be bad to put into the restroom that the customers can use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put some sort of sound device on it. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. That would be cool. Get people like, oh, from the show, man. So here's a good one from Quest for Quality. They are saying, how do you handle, so we talked about artists doing, you know, submissions and consignments, and this is kind of a different, Quest for Quality says, how do you handle custom merchandise requests? Examples, if I wanted the mask or maybe a bobblehead or a show character, what would the process be like?
If there's something, you know, we don't make custom items. Mm-hmm. You know, again, it's the artists who handle all that. But if they wanted something custom from one of the artists of something that they normally do, then we put them in touch with the artist themselves, and then kind of cut out the middle person, and the artist gets, you know, the full commission and everything.
I mean, that's one of the good things that we also do with our local artists. So if people come in and they really enjoy that artist and everything, we have their business cards by their places of their art, right? So if people want to have like their own stuff, I just tell them, just pick up that card, contact them, and you don't even have to deal with us. You just deal with them, and they will work with you. So,
but if you want, you know, the artist community, not just here in Albuquerque, but just anywhere in the world and online, you can find so many custom things. We found a custom Funko Pop artist at a convention in Houston, and she made us 4 Better Call Saul Funko Pops that had never been made.
Right.
Oh wow.
Which we gave away at the party last year in 2019. But there's just so many talented people out there that if you want something specific, now what we've learned, and we're working with several companies that are licensed through Sony to get specific items made, like say here's an idea. We were talking about RV bookends, you know, where you put in between the RVs, and we're talking to a company about it. The cost is very exponential. So a person can't just go say, I would love a custom bobblehead of, you know, the twins from Royal Baubles. Well, Royal Baubles isn't going to go out there and make one thing. Yeah. And if you want to get that, you're going to have to pay the licensing. You're going to have to do the design, and then you're going to have to pay for 5,000 production or something. Quantity.
Yeah.
So getting individual things, it's better to look online. I don't know if I'm allowed to pimp it out or anything, but Etsy is an amazing place for artists, and that's where people should go if they want custom things made. I can't say it.
Perfect. I'm glad you mentioned Royal Baubles as well, too, because they are the primary sponsor of this show. We love Warren and Rachel and the team. They're fantastic. I've got a bunch of them. I can't even reach some of them right here. I got Hector back here. I know you guys can't see it on my small camera, but the other audience can see that. Love those. They make fantastic stuff. And as you were talking there, I wasn't trying to be rude. I was giggling like a little teenager. So I'm reading some of the comments in the chat about back to the toilet. You know, Vivid Kiwi says, here we go, Chandler. Michelle and Dimity says, the toilet was hilarious. Chandler was a boy's name. And Nat Romero says, is that a piece of corn? You know, so there's so many. It's like 15 sound bites, right? You know what? Warren, I'm going to give you a tip right now. Make a not really a bobblehead, but make a sound device of the toilet, and like a bobblehead that doesn't bobble. Maybe the lid can bobble. I don't know, but that would be great.
I would love it.
That would be. Now, we can see the Mike bobblehead from here.
Yeah, can you? Yeah, you can see. Yeah, I've got all of them up here and actually, I've got a Jimmy that actually plays a Van Halen guitar. You want to see him? I'll bring him over.
Oh.
This doesn't come this way, of course. There's Jimmy.
Oh, I was like, where did that happen? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a Van Halen Christmas tree ornament, but I just happen to have Jimmy play instead of playing his Ritchie Blackmore Stratocaster, he's playing Eddie's Frankenstein. So.
Well, I was just noticing that Mike in the back with the shadowing from the light and everything, he looks like a Borg.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I just was looking at that the whole time. I was like, is that Picard as a Borg?
Yeah, exactly. Now here's a question without a name, so I'm going to guess it might have been a continuation for Quest for Quality, and if it's not, I apologize. It doesn't have a name attached. It says, what's the most purchased item in the store?
Oof. Well, again, we get a lot of course, it's tourists, and they don't like to pack a lot of stuff. So
the Los Pollos T-shirt, anything
Los Pollos.
Los Pollos is huge.
The T-shirt, mug, magnet. Is there anything? I mean, those are like, it's like all Los Pollos, and then after that, it would be anything Heisenberg, like the sketch, and then of course Jesse
stickers.
Yeah. Sort of like that. So, but it is Los Pollos. It's like the biggest seller.
Okay.
And, oh my gosh, I had it there and I just lost it. Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, and what's coming up, like what's kind of going like this, is the Blue Sky candy that Sony put out, because FYE, who creates the candy, no longer sells it. So FYE, we got in touch with FYE through Sony and we asked them, and so they're like, yeah, we'll do it for you. Here's how much you have to buy, and blah 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 blah. So we're pretty much the exclusive store that sells the Blue Sky candy.
Yeah.
Good.
Which is like
good.
Yeah.
That correction. That last question was from Renata Rodriguez. That was my fault because Karina sent that to me. She's mentioned it was from Renata, so that was her question. The most purchased item. Here's a question from Adam Strickler. Who are your favorite actors that you've met from either show or movie? That's a good one because there's so much talent on the entire Gilliverse. Do you have any favorites?
All of them.
There you go.
Because we've always laughed at when we go to conventions and people in front of us, always ask the actor, they're getting autographs from, to say, oh, what was it like working with this person? Well, they're not going to say that they were horrible and evil. They're not going to lie. But do you have a favorite?
Well, I always tell everybody, my favorite character in Breaking Bad is Kristen Ritter. So I wanted to meet her so desperately, and I could never, it was hard. So we actually we met her in Houston and Phoenix. And I mean, we even our dog's name is Kristen Jane. It's sort of an amalgam between between Star Trek and Breaking Bad.
Nice.
It's just I adore her. So she's my favorite.
And it's not Star Trek. It's Glee.
Oh, Glee. I'm sorry. And then the second one would be Aaron Paul.
Okay.
He was super nice.
Yeah. He seems like a very happy guy, and sometimes $umpteen million can do that to you, can't it?
Yeah. I'm not, being the Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul fan that I am, I love Patrick Fabian.
Yeah.
He's got a big heart, and he's so nice to the fans, and he knows the fans are what it's all about. They all do.
Yeah.
They all know that fans are the reason why they have jobs and they're watching the show.
I mean, he came to our party, right? We didn't pay him. He just came after he got out of the studio, and he made sure that he made sure there was a big line to meet him,
and he met
every single person. And another story, he came to our store before the shutdown, and this was the funniest thing. He actually became his character. So like when people would come into the store, like he would talk to me, right? And he had his back toward the door. And if somebody came in and I would greet him and say hello, he would actually turn around and he was like, Howard Hamlin, how are you doing today?
Nice.
And they would freak out there and be like, what is this? Right? It was so bizarre. That's how great Patrick Fabian is. He's really cool.
But everyone we've met has been wonderful. And there's just times when you just, though they don't. Well, I'm going to tell one of the funniest stories if I can.
Sure, please. Yep.
How many years ago? Probably 7 years ago, 8 years ago, or 5 or 6 years ago. Stephen Michael Quesada used to have a late night show called the After Party.
Okay.
And he would have the guests. He would have the cast and crew from the show Breaking Bad on there. And one night, I forgot who was on stage, but Dean Norris was there.
Okay.
And we were in the lobby just visiting with our nephew, who's a magician, and we were just kind of hanging out in the lobby and everything. And Dean Norris came by, and everybody wanted to talk to him. My nephew and Ed both went up there to to talk to him, I hid behind a pillar in the lobby because I thought for sure he was going to yell at us for bothering him.
Oh.
Funniest story. And then, of course, you find out that he's just a big pussy cat.
Yeah.
That was a thing, too, because while Steven was doing his show, everybody was in the auditorium. We were in the lobby, and he just came out of being inside, and it was just us and him. And Marcos runs to the pillar, and I'm like, I want to go say, I was like, hello, Mr. Norris. I was wondering if you could sign this. And of course, it's our Breaking Bad sign. And he's like, well, fuck yeah. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You can drop one.
Okay. He just curses all the time, and he's like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I'll just fucking yeah. And he's like, who do I make this like? He's very cool. And then RJ Mitty was also there. I think he was the guest. So RJ Mitty was the guest. So RJ Mitty was done, and it was just our little group there with these two, and my nephew was showing them magic tricks, and it was just like there was nobody else. It was just us, it was cool. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
They've all just been wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, we could tell you about, Bob Odenkirk, who needed to go pee.
Well, they were filming season 1, episode 1.
Yeah.
At Tuco's Abuela's house.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in the driveway, and he was just practicing he was practicing that scene where he walks up to the door where Tuco pulls the gun. Oh, # spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Where Tuco pulls the gun. And he was practicing it. We've been sitting out there for about 6 hours watching him film.
Just watching him film?
Because it's just amazing to watch them work.
Oh, yeah.
And he just looked up and he just walked across the street and came over and he shook our hands and talked to us for about 15 minutes. And then he paused and he was like, I have to go to the bathroom. And he just walked away.
Yeah. He had to go shoot a scene.
He had to go do a scene.
And again, there was nobody on the street. I mean, the crew was working, trying to get the next scene going, but it was just, it was me, you, and our neighbor and him. And that was it.
Wow.
Was,
that's so intimate. Cool. I'm glad you brought up Dean Norris too. Dean is someone who has slipped through my fingertips a dozen times. That's somebody I want on the show greatly. But I mean, there's so many different publicists and managers and agents, and usually I try to go directly to a publicist first when I'm reaching out to a guest, because the publicists are the people that they work with these artists, more so than the management and things like that. They know what they like in their coffee. They know what they're doing at every minute. And I think Dean has changed a few publicists a few different times. So if anyone, including you guys or you folks in the live chat, if you are a friend or know Dean, send him my digits and just have him reach out, because I'd love to have him on the show. We'll talk Schrader Brow and everything like that as well too. Yeah, here is
we sell his stuff, right? So we sell his stuff. He knows that we sell his stuff, right? So he knows he's done a promo for our store for his Schrader Brow.
Okay.
And that was the one thing that we want is like, if when they come back and film and he comes in, I would just love it if he can come to the store and he can promote his stuff.
Yeah.
And if he does, we'll just like, there's this guy called Eric Broadbent.
Yeah, let him know.
He does this little show.
Yeah. Go on there.
You might go back and watch it when he had Vince Gilligan on there. So you might want to jump on this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If we get to see him, I'll totally tell him. Yeah.
You can reach out.
I was talking to, I've become nice friends out of the weirdness. I don't know how this happened, but Rex Lynn now has become a friend, almost like a stalker friend. And I love it. It's good. I love him. He's great. He called me last week out of the clear blue, and I had a note to call him back. He called me, which was nice. But he had texted the just after our show. And then just last week as well, too, texted Banksy there, and he's trying to bring Banksy on the show for me. So that would be awesome. It would be great. Love to have Jonathan Banks on the show. Yeah.
Mark can tell you a story of Jonathan Banks.
Okay.
Right?
Well, I got two. Well, one, we met him at they did a charity event with Cardboard Playhouse and The Box with Bob Odenkirk, Michael Mandel, Ree, and Patrick. And Jonathan Banks was there. And so afterwards, we went up there to meet him and get his autograph. And we handed him a picture of Designing Women.
Okay.
Because he was in an episode of Designing Women, and he just got the biggest kick out of that. So, because everybody always will give him, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
He probably has no idea he was like. Is that me? He probably didn't even know.
Yeah, he was doing wallpaper or something on. He was trying to do the wallpaper, and they were arguing about and he wants it this way, and they're like, no, and he goes, but I like it this way.
Oh, I love Eric. He knows.
Yeah.
I love it.
You can't put a flag. You can't design a room about a flagpole.
Yeah.
But so when they were doing the show, we showed up and we got in the parking garage and we parked right next to him in the parking garage.
Okay.
Going to the show. And so we get in the elevator with him. And of course, you're kind of a little starstruck because you're riding in an elevator with Jonathan Banks. And so we were talking to him, and Ed's like, yeah, I've got tattoos, and he showed him all his tattoos of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Well, he signed my arm. I have like some autographs on my arm, and he had signed this the year before, right? When they were interviewing Bryan Cranston for his book. And I just said, I just want to tell you, I have your autograph on my arm. So he looked at my arm and he saw my autograph and he goes to Mark's mom.
He turned, my mother's in the elevator with us, and he turns to my mom and he goes, "Excuse me, ma'am, but I'm going to curse." And then he said an explicative.
He goes, "That's fucking amazing."
I wasn't going to say it. But it was just one of those classic moments you're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I'm gonna jump out of order just for a second because we're on this, and I got a question from Bob Rich on deck. But Lori actually was just saying for Ed, show us the Breaking Bad tats. Are you able to display?
I'll try.
Okay.
I don't know if you can get a clear enough picture of that.
Oh yeah.
So that's Apology Girl. That's Kristen Ritter. That's Brian. This is our first Facebook group. It's called the Unofficial Breaking Bad Fan Tour.
Okay.
And then there's the man himself. There's Vince.
Wow.
This is Breaking Bad. And then right here this is our group now, which is the Better Call Saul 3 Strikes group on Facebook. There's Jonathan Banks. There's Bob Odenkirk. And then right here is Ree. Now, for Ree, this is before I got Kristen Ritter. I didn't want, she looked at it and she goes, "How come you don't have any women on your arm?"
Okay.
And I was like, "I don't know. I just," and she goes, "Give me a pen." And so she got a pen from somebody and she just signed it. And she's like, "Are you going to get a tat?" And I'm just like, "I'll go tomorrow." And she didn't, I don't know if she believed me or not, but the next day I went, I tweeted her to it and she was like, "Thank you."
That's awesome. So I was going to ask you how that works. So if they would sign it, then you just try to go the next day if at all possible.
Yes, and my tattoo artist, his name is Skylar. So I mean, who it's like kismet, right?
Wow.
Bob Odenkirk signed it when he was being arrested at Chuck's house.
Right.
And he went right. I mean, he left from meeting Bob over to the tattoo bar.
Right.
So it's usually he tries to get it done the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kristen, Kristen signed it on a piece of paper in our tattoo artist.
Right.
Okay.
Because it was in Houston where we met her.
Yeah.
But he also has both legs.
I have both legs. So I was like, I have Los Pollos, I have the moth, I have the teddy bear, and I want to get Sombrosito on the other leg pretty soon too. So.
Okay. Nice. That's so cool and personal as well too, and very original. So I'll jump backwards now to Bob Rich, and after I mention this question here from Bob, we're going to jump back to a couple things that you guys are going to share something with us exclusive tonight, some news, and also a bit of a discount for our viewers here inside the Gilliverse. So this is from Bob Rich. Bob says, "What do you think might be the most?" This is a great question. What do you think might be the most amazing and valuable Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul items on Earth, and in any category as props that could be imagined? That's a killer question.
No, I don't think it's the coin. No. If I would have to say what is the most, oh gosh,
one of the meth tanks, like maybe from the final where Walt puts his hand on that one of those tanks.
Yeah. I would think it would be it could be that. I definitely think it's the it's in the Smithsonian. It's got to be his green shirt and tidy whitey.
That's what I was thinking. His tidy whitey.
That's the most iconic piece of that, and then the hazmat suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think those are the most iconic things from Breaking Bad that people would say, "I'm going to pay a lot of money for that."
Yeah.
But it's weird what fans like and what fans are willing to pay for.
Somebody might want the eyeball from the teddy bear. They may want that.
Yes.
I mean,
somebody may want the teddy bear.
Right.
Or I think that might be in the Smithsonian as well.
Yeah.
But there's just so many things out there. There's so many iconic imagery from Breaking Bad.
The Los Pollos sign. Who wouldn't want that from the restaurant? I mean, one of the saddest things that we heard is one of the crew members is when Breaking Bad ended, he was leaving the lot, right? And they were just tossing like
all the props sets in the trash.
So he saw like the dining room set and everything, and they just tossed them.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Oh, they don't go. They don't. They should never go to die. They need to go to us to cherish and love. Yeah.
Yeah, because the fans are the ones who are going to take that and make that more iconic than what it was to begin with.
Live forever. Live forever.
Yeah. To them, it's just a dining room set on a TV show.
Yep.
But that's kind of like the whole, when MASH ended and the cast took the signs off of the direction post, and they probably put those in their homes because that meant so much to them. And now they're probably worth, more than we possibly.
Oh, I can imagine. Something over on the Better Call Saul side, I mean, something that I think is some value in it, and I didn't think of this. I can't take credit for it. But again, I mentioned Rex Lynn earlier, and he's on the show. He said the first time he met Bob on the set in the parking garage, and he storms out there and he's like, okay, what's it going to take to get these crazy ad campaigns pulled down and really defaming Mesa Verde? And that was the first time really meeting him on set. And he goes up to the Suzuki Esteem and he's like, it's the Batmobile. It's literally the Batmobile, only a yellow thing with a red door, piece of crap car, a bunch of metal shavings holding hands. But that, to me, imagine having the Esteem, right? The original. I mean, and I know they have multiple because they told us that on set, that they told us that here on the show, that there's multiple cars. A couple Mike's cars, a couple of, Walt's Aztecs and things like that. They have multiples for in case something happens to them. But just having the original Esteem would be so cool.
I mean, when they were filming behind us, again, it was season 1, episode 1, and the Esteem was parked, and we're like, what is that? And we saw him get, it was like, why is he driving that? We didn't know, we're used to him driving his, his nice posh car, right? Yeah. So we were just like, what is this piece of crap? And of course, now it's iconic.
I know.
And one of the things is with the events of season 5,
yeah,
you know what happens if you haven't watched season 5 yet because it's not on Netflix.
Yeah,
you know what happens, and it's like, wow, and that makes even more.
Yeah,
I know.
If you don't mind, Eric, if I could, one of the things that we Ed and I have been very happy about is the group that we have, the Better Call Saul 3 Strikes group, is the fans and the amazing people that are there. And we had a fan that is not able to join us, and his name was Fabrice, and he was from Belgium. And he recently passed, and it was a shock to the community. But when Lori was talking about it earlier in her voicemail, that it was like, I know we're looking at time here, but how generous he was. And we need to give him a shout out, because when we raised money for the Cardboard Playhouse, which is a great nonprofit organization here in Albuquerque, he was an amazing person, and I want to give a big shout out to him too for being such a wonderful person.
And to Lori, thank you. To Karina, thank you. Karina, actually, FYI, she was our very first person customer on our online.
Lori was our first online customer.
Oh, Lori, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, Karina. Oh, thank you. We love you guys.
Karina's a great customer. Yeah. Lori was our first customer.
Right.
So sorry, I wanted to throw that out there before we wrapped up.
No, that's okay. And I'm going to take a second right now, and I'm going to post a link right now to the store in the chat. I'm going to make sure I'm on the right spot here to your store online. And you had a bit of an exclusive you wanted to tell us about, or something. I guess was that the news that you wanted to tell us about?
No.
Okay.
Actually, what we're going to do is once the show is over, we're going to, for everybody that's here and who watch later, we're going to have a coupon code. If you get anything at the Breaking Bad Store ABQ.com, whatever it is, if you go to the coupon code Gilliverse, you put that in, Gilliverse 20. Gilliverse 20.
Gilliverse 20?
20% of all your purchases.
Okay. So if they try that right now, obviously you haven't got it in there yet, so just wait. Don't complete your purchase. Wait. Yeah. Try a little bit later. Gilliverse 20 at checkout. Great.
Give us time to get back to the commercial. Computer.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the exclusive.
Now, real quick here, because we're running short. 2020, January 2020, we opened up our store in a little spot. Very small. COVID happened. The governor shut us down for 2 months. During that time, we weren't even sure if we were going to continue the store or not. So then our landlord came to us and said, hey guys, do you want a bigger spot? And we're like, we don't even know what we're going to do here. Come on. And we turned to each other and we said, yes, let's do it. So we got a
bigger store,
a big place, a bigger place, twice the size we were at. And so that's where we were, and we were, it's great.
And again, the fans come, they helped us through this difficult time.
But because of the fans, and the response that we've gotten for the store, we are expanding even more.
Yeah.
So we are actually moving to a larger location.
Yeah. It's going to be twice the size of where we are now.
And we are going to be increasing the amount of memorabilia that's going to be in the store, the photo ops with the guests who come into the store. And again, our photo ops are free. Nobody has to pay for it.
Nothing.
You just walk in. You don't even have to buy anything.
No.
You just go back and have a good time.
And again, it's going to be all memorabilia. It's going to be nicely done. It's going to be, you're going to see the actual costumes. You're going to see, there's just so much stuff that we have in this house that we can't show anybody. This time we're going to be able to do it. It's going to be more interactive as well. And it's going to really make everybody that comes to the store, the fans, you're really going to be part of Breaking Bad.
So that's great. By all means, I was just going to say, by all means, when that happens, if you can give us a bit of, if you want to do a little bit of a video walkthrough, I'd be happy to share it here on the channel as well, too. And, let people know about the grand opening and all that good stuff. So happy to help promote as well.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
We really appreciate the fans and the business, and we really hope all these people from around the country and world can come and see us one of these days. We love meeting everyone. We'll sit and chat. We'll have Schrader Brow.
I play trivia with the fans because I love to give stuff away. So if I have a super fan, I'm like, do you want to play trivia? And if they get all the answers right, I give them something that, it's not just a dinky prize. I'll give them something that, you can't get. I've given away Schrader Brow beer. I've given away Schrader Brow beer that was signed by Dean Norris. I'll do whatever.
You have to be 21.
You have to be 21, yes.
Legal.
But I've given everything. So come to the store, and again, when we open up in May, which is going to happen, come to the store.
We like to think of ourselves as the little store that could.
Yes.
Nice. That's so fantastic. I know what a piece of a tourist attraction that you just have to be there. I mean, if you're going to be there doing some of the filming locations or the RV tours with Frank, things like that, or shopping at your store, or just visiting anywhere in Albuquerque, visit you guys and just take in the experience from the entire Gilliverse for sure. It's wonderful.
Yes. And one of the things is, one of the people that we know, he's actually said he is going to bring Vince to the store. So we can't wait, and we're hoping that he'll come to the store now, and then he'll wait to come to the new store later.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, tune in next week as well for sure. We'll be talking to him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We love that Southern gentleman. He's a great guy.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to having him for two reasons. Number one, it's Vince Gilligan. Number two, I had a little bit of internet choppiness last time I had him, and it's like, of all times to have, we had the captain of the ship on the show, right? So I'm looking forward to that, to have a nice smooth recap. And last time I had him on with Tom, so Tom won't be here with us this time. Tom is coming back, by the way, as well too. So Tom sent me an email, and he's missing the show a lot. Hello, Tom's mom. Hello, Vince's mom as well too. But we're looking forward to having him. But I really want to thank everyone's sending some nice love your way in the chat. We have the greatest people that know you and are patrons of you there. And they love our show here, and we love them. It's nice to have everybody. I want to thank both you gentlemen for giving us your time this evening. It's been a pleasure, and I hope you had fun as well.
I had an amazing time.
Amazing.
And Eric, let me tell you how humbled we are to be invited on your show, because the amount of talent that you have had. Last week you had Schweiker. I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm just going to call him Schweiker.
Yeah, Rich Schweiker, right? Dennis and Canadian would say Bootsakaris. Yeah.
I love, thank you so much for having us. Thank you to the fans who tuned in tonight.
And get your ass to Albuquerque, dude.
Yes. You have to come to Albuquerque.
I'm coming.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm coming.
You could broadcast live from the store.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty darn cool. I'm gonna pull a favor from Tom. I'm gonna say, Tom, you're gonna get me on the set, right? So we'll see for sure. But I just want to,
of all the people that I have met, because I've met Vince, I met Peter. I have not met Mr. Schnauz, and that's a priority, man, for his last season. So
I'll make sure that happens. I'll make sure he rums into you guys, because he is great. And I think once you've been schnauzed by Tom, you never forget it. You'll never ever forget it. Tom is great. I love him to death. I love his family. And speaking of family, 2020 has been crazy, and 2021 is carrying over. Make sure you tell those family members that you love them, because you never know how long we're going to have them. So make sure they're told they're loved. I want to thank both of you gentlemen. I'm reading a few notes just so I don't forget, because there's so many people that make this show happen. I'm just a guy who pushes the buttons and tries to smile and have fun. But a huge thank you to our show sponsors, Warren, Rachel, and the team at bobbleheads.com. Make sure to check them out. We also have bobbleheads.com/Gilliverse, and that'll take you directly to a nice little portal and I don't get kickbacks for that or anything like that. It's just a page that they've put together where you don't have to go through a bunch of hoops to find all the Better Call Saul stuff like that as well. We want to thank our channel members. If you want to become a member on the channel here, there's a join button down below, and you can send in those audio questions like Karina did and Lori did and some of our other fans do. There's all kinds of other perks as well too, merchandise discounts. Patreon supporters, our channel moderators, of course, our YouTube subscribers, our super chatters, PayPal donators, and those that purchase our merch from the Broad Stash Boutique. I'm wearing some of it tonight. I need a Vanna White to kind of model this stuff. Tune in next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. As I mentioned, the captain of the ship, Vince Gilligan himself, is going to be here. And we know Lori's a diehard Vince Gilligan fan, so she's going to get her audio question first. Check us out to Instagram and Facebook at Inside the Gilliverse. Audio podcast fans, we will also have this up hopefully tomorrow. And Dennis, his podcast, Dennis Boutsikaris, I haven't finished that one yet, so there'll be 2 of them going up tomorrow. Make sure to hit subscribe on that button down below, and we will work just as hard to keep you as a subscriber as we did to get you. And that is my whole spiel. I had a blast with you guys. Thank you for making a fun, fantastic Friday inside here on the Gilliverse.
Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you, everybody in the chat room.
Thank you. Adore you, Eric. Thank you so much for everything.
Awesome. Well, gentlemen, don't go away. I'm going to say goodbye to you off the air. Everyone have a safe and fun, fantastic weekend. We'll look forward to seeing you right here next week, same time, same channel, same back cave, whatever you want to call all that stuff, whatever. We'll see you next week. Until then, cheers.
Thanks again for tuning into Inside the Gilliverse with Eric Broadbent. Be sure to check back each week for more great discussions and interviews with cast and crew from Breaking Bad, El Camino, and Better Call Saul. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends.